everyone. My name is Oksana. It's Road to Edoverse, weekly Edoverse Insider, the fifth. We deliver the news about our project, the creation of our project Edoverse. And I would like to start from Tokugawa-san. Could you please speak about the progress?
Okay, yes. All right. Well, I'm not in the development side. I'm more of the concept guy. So I would like to, hello, everyone. This is Iehiro Tokugawa speaking. And this week I would like to talk very briefly about the perceived class structure of Edo society. We usually refer to Edo as a period of a rigid class structure or estate structure. Shino kosho, samurai, peasant or farmer. Then craftsmen, merchants. The common understanding is that this is about the importance in society or rank in society in descending order. Samurai are the ruling class, and then the peasants are the most important as they are the ones who create true wealth. And less than that, the craftsmen and merchants are just exchanging things and are not producing wealth. So on and so on and so forth. And this is supposed to be derived from Confucianism, but this is actually not the case. Samurai in this case refers to soldiers. So it means that these are four commoner estates, and above them are the imperial family and the imperial nobles, and the court nobles and Buddhist priests and so forth. So these four estates, samurai, peasants, and so on, actually refer to the productive population. So the consciousness of the samurai class or all Edo people, all people in Tokugawa, Japan, was that they're all ordinary folk performing their role. So there was much more social mobility than is usually understood. Okay, and at the same time, they had to create order, and this is a pre-industrial society. So there were the toiling classes, and then the samurai were the administrators. And then the majority of the samurai were kept pretty poor, okay? And they had to invest heavily in education. So they were performing the role of the public sector pretty sincerely, like you would see in today's Japan. And I think, so that this I'll be talking in more detail in the following weeks. I think that's enough for now. Okay, thank you very much, Oksana.
Thank you very much, Tokugawa-san. And the next, I would like to ask Mr. Gen, the CTO of the project, to speak.
Thank you, Oksana. Hello, everyone. I'd like to update something with you. We have been continuing to discuss with our team how we can realize the concept of Edoverse. And then, of course, the keyword is play to earn. So we currently trying to define what's the real play to earn, because Mr. Tokugawa always, gives us great idea how what types of gaming applications should be in Edoverse, and it seems to be and looks so interesting. While of course this is Edoverse supervised by Mr. Tokugawa, so it's not like just joking. It's real Edo City with playing real game with fun. I think this is a real concept of play to earn. So I have some wrong feeling about the current definition. I mean, definition of play to earn. So for example, if there's people who willing to earn with playing game, is play to earn? I don't think so. Because if they're willing to earn first, it's supposed to be like job or work. So I think currently the play to earn seems to be like, just work to earn. I don't want to realize these types of things. So I'm planning to have a meeting with huge investors on this Thursday morning, 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to try to talk to him about about the real play to earn. What's the real play to earn? Because if we provide some kind of gaming application, which is super interesting and then fun to play, not for the money. The money is result, right? And then the game is the method. And then we have to provide kind of attractive gaming application in this Edoverse so that maybe we can realize the real play to earn. Currently, we can see many types of gaming application in blockchain space, but most of them looks not so fun and interesting to me. It's like we have to log on and download and log on and download and buy some NFT to get on. It seems to be like not game. It seems to be like job or work. So I don't want to do that. I'm trying to create new one, which is really interesting, and then which is really we can say this is a real play to earn. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gen. It sounds very exciting. And please, the next, Dominique, could you please speak about the project overall?
Thank you, Oksana. Yeah, that was very, very interesting, just about Gen's ideas, which is actually gaming mentality is actually different from the actually, play to earn things. So we had to create really very exciting things for everyone, just for the gaming things. Anyway, we actually the last week we just every day just now on a considering stage just to build up ideas, concepts, and also a theme, designs. But from this week that we officially, physically, will just establish a corporation in a Japanese entity first, called Japanese name called Edoverse 株式会社 is Edoverse Company Limited or Edoverse Institute. And then, and after that, this Japanese company is just now officially developed a lot of this ecosystem of the Edoverse. And then next step should be we're going to just establish the overseas entity just to fit this ecosystem. And the next is that in March and in April, we have to finish our white paper, the first white paper. And then our target is just during April that we're going to disclose a white paper for the Edoverse. And also we now try to cultivate people and also try to find the people to develop and also to design, to make designs of Edoverse and also ecosystem. So pretty soon that we're going to just find a person just to get our definition of this Edoverse requirements. And then we have to just fix some overall budgets and how we should just raising funds on the fiat currency basis, and also how we should just combine all the budget into the ecosystem in the Edoverse. So this Edoverse, we're going to just make the big economic scale, and also that we're going to just issue the new tokens, which it's going to be a big value in the future. But this token is going to be very valuable, and I want everyone, even the developers and also all the stakeholders can be involved in this Edoverse ecosystem. So in March and April, we will be very busy just to finalizing our white paper to fix to get whole ideas of Edoverse for the design, the game, and NFT art, and everything. So we're going to be very excited about things, and then I hope many others talented people can just join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dominique, and thank you everyone for very inspiring updates. And I will be talking with you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think that is too short.
Yes, this time.
5 minutes short. I can go on talking for another 5 minutes, and then you can edit it into what I've already spoken. Or should we do that?
Please.
Okay, yes. Okay, well, about the class structure of Edo society is that, as I have stressed repeatedly, this is a post-Toyotomi society. Before Toyotomi, Japan had a rigid hereditary hierarchy. After Toyotomi, there wasn't any. Everyone was equal in a way. And it sounds nice, but you see, this is not this. Everyone is equal does not necessarily mean that everyone can respect others as if they were someone, as if they were family or something. So no fraternity there, so there's huge potential for falling back into chaos. So what the Tokugawa did was to create some kind of order. Any order is better than chaos. That's the thinking. And they had to rely on the accumulated history, and that was the military order created during the Warring States period, the Sengoku Jidai. And on that basis, and then there's plenty of empty land, vacant land. There was enough room for land reclamation and excess labor. So economic growth could absorb the frustration of creating a social hierarchy. And then after that, there's pacification through Buddhist teaching, and Buddhist teaching. And then, very importantly, talented people were promoted vigorously. So you look at all the samurai working for the shogun, and in a 50-year period, and then there was practically no movement in terms of family ranking, but 40% of those samurai were adopted from other families, mostly from samurai, but also from farming or merchant families. So there was mobility underneath the facade of rigidity. And so this is what made Tokugawa Japan, and especially the city of Edo, very special. What meets the eye had another layer right behind. So the samurai, all of them had swords, 2 swords in fact, and they were educated according to a warrior ethic, but they were all civilian, in fact, what you could call civil servants. And likewise. And then as for the other 3 estates, classes, ranks of the peasantry, the farming population, 80% of the population actually, merchants and craftsmen, there's plenty of mobility here too. So a wealthy farmer could start lending to his neighbors. A poor peasant would try to go to one of the cities. Edo was the biggest, but Osaka, a pretty close second, and actually richer, or Kyoto, and then try to find work as, menial labor, and try to find work in menial labor. And then, with luck, he could promote himself. Eventually, he could own land, or if wealthy enough, you could buy your status as a samurai. So, especially in the 19th century, you could buy your status with money. So, the fad for the very wealthy merchants was to send in their son to have high-ranking samurai adopt their extra sons. You see, this is very similar to the European nobility in the Middle Ages and during the Renaissance times to send their second son or third son into the clergy. You see, so money and rank actually shook hands in late Tokugawa times. This kind of explains how Japan in the Meiji era could catch up with the so-called catch up with the West so quickly, is that there were rules strictly enforced, but there were ways of adapting to changing times. There was flexibility and mobility under a rigid hierarchy, what looked like a rigid hierarchy. So that is and that was the essence of Tokugawa rule. So how to be ruled by a warrior caste, and then but never having a war for 2.5 centuries. So there was the secret, right? And that would be it for this week. Thank you very much.